The buzzer on our building door squeaks thinly, like a mouse whose voice has been stolen. I came back late. Trader Joe's paper bags banging against my knees, keys left in another jacket, fingers not working. Whether from the Hudson wind or from exhaustion, I couldn't tell. I slapped my palm against the metal panel and, out of habit, dialed 15A. Mrs. Ramirez lives across the hall in 15A. She always buzzes me in, happy for an excuse to chat a bit. Yes, a voice crackled through the speaker. Not hers. Empty, like inside an elevator. Please, can you open? My keys. Bzzz. The lock clicked. The door yielded with heavy weight. The first odd thing I missed. The panel never lit up with A. The second, the door felt colder than any February night should. But I wanted home too badly to stop. The lobby smelled of bleach and hot metal, cleaning fluid from the janitor, rusty steam from the radiator. The USPS mail slots on the right looked normal, except every card read only one letter, A. To the left, an elevator taped off with an orange out-of-service sticker, yellow caution tape. The call button's arrow sagged slowly back, like the tongue of a tired lizard. I jabbed it once, twice. Nothing. Perfect, I muttered. 15th, on foot. The stairs were broad terrazzo, iron railings cold to the touch. On every landing, one door, each marked with chalk squares, 1A, 2A, 3A, not apt, 1, or 15th floor, just letters, like a catalog. On the first landing, door 1A opened by itself, a hand's width. A warm yellow glow spilled out, like from an old lamp. Don't leave jars by the stove, a voice floated out before the owner. They're already rattling. An elderly Puerto Rican woman stood there in a faded robe, a canvas tote on her arm, pickles in a jar, a bunch of greens, a glass bottle of soda. The air smelled of dill and gas. Heavy. Swedish. Like when a Con Ed line blows in the East Village. You for me? She asked over her glasses. Tell the super, flame's gone but gas still runs. I faltered. I'm heading to 15. Oh, she smiled faintly, stepping back without inviting me. Matches. Keep them in the drawer, not the stove, and open a window, sweetie. The door shut, leaving a band of light on the floor. On the second landing, 2A flung wide, like a dare. A teenager burst out in a faded Yankees tee, knee bandaged, white cord dangling from his neck, old iPod Classic in his pocket. Elevators stuck, he reported with news anchor confidence. Right between floors. Hear the cables scrape? At first you think rain, but it's the ropes licking the pulley. He squinted at the button, as if some fairy might fix it. Don't ride the elevator. It's boring in there. I don't, I said. Good. He nodded solemnly, popped in one earbud, and vanished. I caught a thin white scar under his hairline, an old fall maybe, from our shaft. Couldn't recall. The door shut. Smells like Teen Spirit cut off mid-beat. Third floor, no one. Fourth. A girl in a fur-trimmed parka, leash in hand, loop empty like a straw. The other end disappeared behind the door. Did you see my dog? She asked flatly, rehearsed. White, one black eye. You weren't supposed to pick her up. They picked her up and laughed. She wasn't supposed to have sweets. They gave her some. Lying was useless. No. Okay. She turned, leading the empty loop into darkness. Don't go on the roof. Ice. Door 4A closed. On 5, a man in a crisp shirt and blazer. Cuffs too short. Fresh white bandages peeked beneath. The air carried Armagnac. Not stale, but expensive. Walk me, please, he said quietly. To the room where it's quieter. They promised it's quieter. Quick like cotton. He exhaled smoke without a cigarette. Here. Everyone talks. I'm going home, I said. Home. He rolled the word in his mouth. Home. He stepped back with a grateful sadness. Door 5A closed. 6th floor. Empty. 7th. A woman in a Mount Sinai robe, surgical mask on her face, fingers dry and striped by glove marks. She took my wrist, found my pulse with a cold palm, looked at her watch. No hands, empty dial, like an old Timex. It's okay, she said. It happens. She pulled down her mask, young face, startlingly tired. If it gets heavy, sit, don't argue. Smelled of alcohol and rubber, and don't linger near 9. She left. On the 8th, a man, sweater cuffs singed, a clean-cut 30-something, but hair ends melted. You smell smoke? He asked, honestly puzzled. You cover the window wet, like this. Crawl low, not up. Throat boils if you don't. He pointed upward, childlike, helpless. I only stepped out on the stairs for a drag, thought it was fine. Shoulders apologetic, door 8A shut. I took the 9th landing fast, colder, reek of rat poison and lime. Newspaper rustled. Pages flipped from a post with a date that couldn't exist. 10th. A woman with a trash bag and ashen hands. Graffiti by the chute read, "Do not leave trash here," penciled with a smiley. 11th. An old man like a geography teacher, worn MTA map in hand, Q, still dotted on 2nd Avenue. Asked where the Z train stopped. I pointed there, at the wall. Good enough. 12th, 13th, empty. Knees ached but steps carried themselves. Stair, breath, cold iron rail. Walls scribbled with names? No, just A, everywhere. 14th. A faint hiss, like sand through glass. Mail slots crammed with identical flyers. Vote. Last fall's date. Door 14A cracked open an inch. Pen scratched paper inside. I didn't ask. Who? What? Those were not my letters. 15th landing. Door 15A, plain brown. Peephole. No doormat. No live laugh love. My knuckles rapped before I thought. The door opened before I pulled back. I stood on the threshold. Me. Not a reflection. Worse. Me. Same jacket but dry. Same keys, heavy and matte. Same hands, steady where mine shook. He looked straight at me like a photo of a stranger. Well, hey, he said in my voice, smiling softer than I ever could. You made it. Come on in. He stepped back, holding the door. Inside, nothing. Not renovation, not moved out. Just blank white walls, no outlets. Window, white rectangle, empty. Air. Still. Not my building. Just a corridor. This is a joke, I said, trying anger. Why my keys? Why? Because you never pulled them out, he shrugged. You stood at the buzzer on the stoop. Bag tore. Oranges rolled down the steps. You bent, and your heart jerked like an old elevator. You thought wind. You thought nap it off. You thought it'll pass. But it didn't. FDNY somewhere far off. Upstairs neighbors cursing. Mrs. Ramirez is yelling Con Ed out her window. And you didn't make it. Here you did. He smiled. Half pity, half kinship. Here, yeah. A chair appeared, like in an ID photo booth. I sat. Legs light, hands empty, searching for rail, bag, phone, none. Just him, me, and silence. Who's downstairs? I asked. Those people. Ours, he said. The ones who breathed this building. Steam heat, Con Ed gas, elevators, trash chutes, fire escapes. They greet you. Everyone likes to talk in the hallway. It's New York. The girl with the dog. The super left poison wrong. Or someone gave chocolate. She remembered it right. Here afterward. Everyone says it right. And after this? I asked. Smirked at the word after. In New York, after meant always. Take the trash out, call 311, pay rent, run to the bodega. Here, have to had vanished. After's quieter, he said. Let's go. He held out my hand. His hand. I took it. We stepped out of 15A, if it was an apartment at all. Door shut soundless. Landing. Absolute stillness. The kind New York never has, not even at 4 a.m., when only the garbage truck groans on Broadway. From below lingered scraps of noise, the faint whine of an elevator, a muffled cough behind a mask. Don't go on the roof, the dill-sweet scent of gas, a distant FDNY siren. But that was there. Here, step by step, up, down. We walked together, for the first time, same pace, no rush, no have to, no city in our ears. If you made it all the way to the end, then you're exactly the kind of person I'm looking for. Hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. I hope I can keep bringing you more stories, to make you smile, or maybe, to scare you.